He's going Dusty Bogan here. So I hope you all enjoyed Anzac Day. This is my other full Bogan hat. My mate's granddad, buddy. I got it off him. Pretty rad. Australia. I call it my Fraser Anning hat. Kind of looks like the hat Fraser Anning wears around. Some old school beaten up brim, you know. But yeah, so Anzac Day yesterday was bloody good. Went to the parade. Didn't go to dawn service, but went to the one at 10 and then went to the pub after with the boys, and it was awesome. Got to speak to a few veterans, and you can see on my Instagram there's a few photos up, but I didn't even bother. I could have taken my filming gear. You should check out my videos from last year, Anzac Day. Pretty good ones. I had a chat to they have like the bikies, the veteran bikie dude. Spoke to a guy last year, so he was pretty rad. I just didn't think I could top it. I just wanted to have a beer with the boys. Anyway, and then did you see this thing? I don't know if you're aware of it. If you follow the Dusty Bogans mates on Telegram, my group chat, join that. Or on my Instagram. Yeah, someone posted up, I think I seen it and then I screenshot it and posted them up. There's like all these old Anzac Day videos that YouTube has they put up it's like this video is like discretion advised kind of thing. You have to click, and I don't think you can share or like or comment on it. So YouTube, what a dog act. That's so weird. The Anzacs were fighting against, yes, we know Anzac Cove, World War One, but the spirit of the Anzac, Australian New Zealanders fighting together, against just radical belief systems, pretty much fighting. It goes beyond the spirit of Anzac Day we celebrate. It's pretty much we're celebrating all of our servicemen and veterans throughout all the wars Australia and New Zealand have been in. And mate, defeated the Nazis, went at war with the communists. Do you know what I mean? So these are two absolute crazy control freak belief systems, and now we're fighting the radicals of Islam. Do you know what I mean? So tip the hat to the soldiers. And good on them. And I think Australia, New Zealand, the Western world, we've been fighting hard against the Nazis, fighting hard against the commies, and fighting hard against radical Islam. And I think what a great tradition, what a great thing to celebrate. And I can't believe YouTube would do that. But it's kind of the thing. Like the CEOs who run these social media apps, they're like the same crazy people who want to ban Captain, we want to pull Captain Cook's statue down. Remember when that was happening? Jeez, these people are crazy. And you've just got to think, I know we've had Easter, that was such a good weekend, going to church. Now we've had Anzac Day. What a great patriotic, it's I hope it's been a refresher and a reminder to people when they go and vote in the Australian election coming up. Do you know what I mean? You've got to be thoughtful. What do we want the future of this nation to look like? Do we want, if you let Labor and Bill Shorten in, that they will have plans to shut Australia's offshore detention, and they'll open the floodgates for people smugglers and boatloads of they're not even refugees. All they are is people who are trying to jump the queue, because they're not refugees. A lot of these people who come to Australia, they go through plenty of nations just to get to Australia. And we send them offshore. It works amazingly. It saves lives. People aren't drowning, and we're able to control who we choose who comes into this nation. But Labor will stuff that up. Labor's already wanting to they want to bring that abortions should be paid by taxpayers and done in public hospitals. Now that's radical. That's out of control. Now I went to all the rallies last year against Anastasia Palagino, 9-month. They want to bring in full-term abortion. So Bill Shorten, if you vote him in, it's likely that they'll try to roll out full-term abortions, and you will have, as a taxpayer, you'll have to pay. You'll be paying for abortion. So that's just stupid. Bill Shorten, and they keep saying multiculturalism. Well, hang on. I'm pretty sure Jews, Christians, Muslims, Hindus, Buddhists, even conservative atheists are not interested in abortions. Do you know what I mean? If we have more conservative cultures, multiculturalism, they're saying there's multiple cultures living in this nation. Well, if you want us all to pay for abortion, you're going against multiculturalism, because all the different subcultures, all the different religious groups, they're not interested in abortion, Bill Shorten. It's an attack against religious freedom. It's an affront to Christians and Jews and Muslims and Hindus and Buddhists. You know what I mean? There's some things we kind of agree on. But, we're completely exclusive. All these religion and ideologies are exclusively making their own truth claims, and they always crack it. And they're like, we can't be offended, but we don't agree. We actually don't agree. So get over it. You got Bill Shorten doing that. I heard he wants to bring in a death tax. I heard you work your ass off, you pay tax your whole life. He wants to bring in a death tax. This is what my mate was telling me at work. I haven't actually read an article on that, so I could be wrong, but I'd say my mate at work, he's pretty switched on, an older dude. He's like, he wants to bring in a death tax. He wants to get rid of negative gearing for investment properties, and he wants to tax fully franked shares. So, I'll be thinking whoa, this dude's completely de-incentivizing people investing in, I think, fully franked shares. I had some fully franked shares, and it's they're like Australian businesses. So it's incentivizing Aussies to invest. If you work your ass off and you're like, oh, what can I do with my money? Put it in my offset account and offset the interest on my mortgage, save it, or can I invest it? And they might look at, you might look at buying fully franked shares. You might look at buying an investment property. But now we're de-incentivizing investment. We're de-incentivizing Australians investing in their own country, which are creating more and more jobs. So I don't know. I don't think it's a very good. It's essentially a tax. They're taxing the crap out of everyone. And then it's like his silly plan, Bill Shorten's silly plan with 25% or 50% of cars to be electric by 2050. I think you're mad. I think it's madness, Bill Shorten. I don't know how you could roll that out. The only way I could imagine this being rolled out is if you did something like NASA. You know how NASA was like, we're not going to do any of we're not going to fund NASA anymore to send rockets into space. We're going to have people can apply for grants from the private sector, and they can, now launching rockets into space, the private sector, pitting them against each other, and then the private sector, you're always going to get innovation. And something like that, where you see Elon Musk and these companies they brought the cost of firing 100 kilos into space down by, it's reduced the cost by 90%. So we need innovation and competition to drive the kind of things that Bill Shorten is we want 50% electric cars. How are you going to do that, Bill? Are you just going to tax the crap out of everyone and then we're going to subsidize electric cars? Well, I don't know, man. I think you're best to let the free market, maybe do something where you can invest in the free market and see. But that's what we were doing with fully franked shares. That's what they were doing. So I don't know. He has a silly way of thinking. And we're only 25 million people. We don't even manufacture any cars in this nation. So Bill Shorten is off his head. And he will want to bring in, they want to roll out changing gender off the birth certificates. They want to fine you if you misgender people up to $3,500. They want to bring in euthanasia. It's not good. Don't vote for Bill Shorten. And I hope it's been an inspiration to you over Easter and Anzac Day. So cheers, eh?